and development of the industry. Am I right?
Very correct.
So for people out there, could you just give us an overview of what the Young Professional Club is all about?
Okay.
What's the whole initiative about? What's the goal? What's the purpose?
So, thank you so much. The Young Professionals Club is a vision that our Father in the Lord, Daddy Gio, has always been passionate about. And you know, that is very much about community. And the National Youth Pastor, Pastor Shola came up with the vision of the Young Professionals Club, mainly to say, how do we influence the marketplace with Christ-centered values? Pure and simple, ensuring that the marketplace is so big, whether you're in the entrepreneurial space, whether you're in the creative economy, whether you're in the normal 9-to-5, an employee, an employer, you are in the marketplace. So there's buying and selling. In fact, I tell people, if you're a preacher, you are buying and selling. Because you're actually preaching, you're selling Jesus.
You're selling the gospel, and then you're buying souls. You're buying tickets. Yeah.
So we are literally in the marketplace everywhere we are. So the key thing is, when this vision came, and in the month of April, we had our inaugural event, it was clear that the Church of God, Rccg, has people all over the place. But the question has always been, what is our agenda? What is that overarching goal we hope to achieve with the people in the marketplace? And how are we ensuring that our soldiers who are in these marketplaces are properly thriving, are properly guided and guarded against contamination? So what better way to do that than community? So which is what brought about the Young Professionals Club, a place where we're able to bring people together. We call it uniting and empowering professionals globally with Christ-centered values, right? Ensuring that you're united, so we're bringing them in with 5 pillars. The 5 pillars of YPC is, number 1 is our faith. We are very much clear about our faith. We're preaching Jesus, teaching people, discipling them to also be disciples of other people. Number 2 is networking, helping our people to connect with one another, people who are either at the entry level of their career, mid-level of their career, you know, at the peak of their career, or even sunsetting in their careers, to have that sort of interweave of different levels of people across different sectors. And then number 3 is opportunities, ensuring that we open up our people to the diverse opportunities. And it's so amazing what God has done in just 7 months that we've ran with this vision, the kind of opportunities that people have been opened up to, what people have benefited, trainings, jobs, grants, and name it. And number 4 is mentorship. So we have people who are at the peak of their career, we have those who are at the beginning of their career, who are then matched in a mentor-mentee matching, ensuring that the people can be groomed to see what they need to do and how they can avoid the booby traps, you know, that are in the careers. Whether you like it or not, every career is peculiar.
Yeah.
So ensure that the mentors can guide the mentees not to make the same mistakes they made, or what the trends are in that sector. And the number 5 is training. So ensuring that our people are, number 1, trained to be better employed, so they are more employable. You know, I tell people that it's not that there are no jobs. There are jobs, but we have people who are employable. So we are also, those who are already in jobs, who are transitioning to other jobs, those who are in business, looking for those to train them along the line of their businesses. So these are the 5 legs on which YPC stands.
And I'm grateful to God for one thing, that is built on faith.
Absolutely.
It has the foundation of faith, it has the pillar of faith, and it also has the covering of faith. So
absolutely.
it's like faith all around. It's in the marketplace, it's about our career, but also putting our Christian values into it.
Very
Thank you so much, sir. So,
Mr.
Buko, I'm going to ask you, Pastor Aya has talked about, you know, the 5 points of YPC. So I want to ask, particularly about the mentoring and the mentee aspect of it. How does it work? Do we have mentors and then, you know, mentees just come, or how does the whole process work? Because a lot of young people out there are trying to find role models. And as Christians, we are employed, or we are advised to pick, you know, role models whose values align with our values. So in the mentoring and mentee relationship of the YPC, how does that work? How does that, you know, come about? How does that come to play?
Okay, thank you for that question. Just a few days back, we launched just 6 communities, and for each of the communities, they have a mentor, and this is how it works. basically from next year, January, that's 2025, we have programs in place for each of the communities.
Is it like a workshop?
Yes, we have workshop, we have events where all mentees will come together, their mentor will be there to address them. Okay. There are programs even in the community WhatsApp group and other avenues where they would organize programs. You know, everyone will come around, those in that community, and the mentor would be able to, you know, train them on so many things. They have one-on-one discussions and all that. So there's going to be a grassroots thing. It's not just the mentor there and the mentee there. No, they're going to come together. It's more like a grassroots.
So they have thing. A one-on-one kind of setting relationship.
Yes.
So
yes.
Don't you guys fear the number? Maybe the number of the mentees, would they be too much for the mentor to handle, or what? How do you plan on that?
That's why people like her. That's why people like her. Because so every community has what you call the community mentorship support team.
Okay.
Yes.
So she, for instance, is in the finance community and also driving accounting money. So she's an accountant. So she's working with, I mean, the community lead mentor. So you have a lead mentor, you have community mentors, and you have the community support mentorship team.
That are like
so there's a cascading model to ensure that one person is not belabored with that. So I think I would ask her to speak about the guidelines that govern, because we ensure that we have guidelines that govern the communities to ensure that there are no abuses.
Okay, all right. Well. Go ahead.
Okay, so one of the guidelines we have is you don't overcrowd all communities. For instance, as an individual, you want to belong to one community or the other. You're not allowed to join more than 2 communities.
Yes. Okay.
So that way, we're able to streamline those in each community.
Yes, and then for the purpose of our viewers and my fellow soldiers out there, the communities are based on the professions.
Yes, sectors. Yes.
So based on the different sectors of the economy, that's what the communities are based on.
Yeah. So for each of the communities, there are rules. And one of them, like I said, you are not allowed to join more than 2 communities. So after you're being allowed into the group, one of it is that you're not allowed to just send messages on the group, on the community group, except you take authorization from either of the admins.
Okay.
Yes. And then the community is not just about you seeking financial assistance. There's nothing like that on the community. So, you know, like our people, some people would always want to take advantage. So, because we have to take cognizance of the fact that there would always be wolves in sheep clothing. So, of course, we've told everyone there's nothing like financial assistance on the group. The group is mainly for you to learn and also to impact others. It's not just for you to pick and take and all that. You should be able to also...
You're being poured, you're being watered.
You should water.
More reason why we said you shouldn't join more than 2 communities, so that you can also be active. So another rule there is that we need you to be active. Okay. So once we realize
people like me, there's no ghost member.
People like me that once I'm in a group, I don't see anything. So there's no ghost member.
No ghost member. We will fish you out. You have to talk. So we need you to be active on those groups. You know, when there are programs, when there are events, we need you to come around. We need you to also be active to talk about things. And also, you know, there are times that, for instance, in finance, there are so many things happening now in the tax sector. And you see people talking about it. So those are those things we want our people to actively get involved in. We want you to talk about it. What are those challenges you're facing in your own space?
So it's more like it's like a traditional community where everybody will gather at the town square.
Absolutely.
And we are talking about every family problem and everything. Wow.
Yeah. So one of the things that makes the YPC very special is the fact that, yes, you have collectives in the community, so there are conversations happening in those small silos, but yet we still have the administrative leg of the regions and the provinces. Wow. Where you have events that happen. For instance, we've had trade fairs organized.
We're coming to that. We're coming to the events. That's fine.
So we've had such things happen where people, and we've had business pitches where people come to then talk about their business.
So you have the community. So the community is more like every day.
Every day. Then you now have
maybe quarterly or something.
Now that happens across regions and provinces as well as national. And just recently now, international.
Oh, wow.
Because thanks to God,
We're global.
thanks to God and the leadership of the youth ministry, we now have the go-ahead to also spread
it out.
this into other countries. We have representatives from Benin Republic, from Turkey, from Saudi Arabia, from Iran,
Wow.
from the UK, from Australia already now within the community. So our joy is that people are beginning to see the need to come together under the umbrella of their professions, right? And that is helping us to also become more impactful. So for instance, if we have an agenda, we want to ensure that in this space, like she mentioned, the issue of taxes,
Yeah.
can we have robust conversations around this? We have governance. We have 20 communities, for instance, and it's across governance, finance, oil and gas, technology, health, that you're in, art and entertainment, and all of that.
Yeah.
So if there's something happening, for instance, in the finance community around taxes, when you have robust conversations and they have a communique, they can pass that to the governance community. And the governance community can take that feedback.
It's more like a model United Nations.
I'm telling you. So we
where
can,
a particular committee
discusses
and then they make their resolution and pass it on.
God bless you. So we believe very strongly that when we start driving how we should drive, the impact on the country will be remarkable. The impact on the church, because then Daddy wants to say something. He has a place where all the professionals in our city are in.
His facts are checked.
Yes, so you can go ahead and confirm what's happening in this place. We have the military and paramilitary, we have legal, we have everybody. We have healthcare. So there are things that needs to happen. You can fact check, you can cross check your data with community experts before you then go public. And that helps us to actually make its inclusivity at the height of it. You have people at the beginning of their career,
and then you have people at the top.
peak of their career. Yeah. It's remarkable.
And they are all together under one body.
Faith.
That's just under the umbrella of faith.
Absolutely.
Yes. Wow, it's amazing how structured the YPC is. It's amazing what you guys have done in the space of 7 months.
Yes, ma'am.
Since the inception. And we just want to say thank God for your leadership and thank God for his wisdom and his grace.
Bless God.
So back to Mrs. Ebeko, I want you to talk about the processes of YPC, what goes on. You know, you shed a little bit of light, talking about the conversations, the community, but beyond that, what are the processes? What are the things that go on, like the administrative work? Pastor was talking about we have the support staff, then we have the mentors at the top of the pyramid. So please shed more light on the processes of YPC.
Okay, the processes of onboarding, I'll speak about that a little. Okay, so for you to join us in the community, just go through the website, that's www.youngprofessionalsclub.org. After you've gone through the website, there's a link there where you could do your registration, you fill in your biodata, your name, and some information, some questions will be asked, and also that's where you're going to pick a community where you would like to join, because that's one of the parameters we use in acceptance into
so that's like
community.
the initial screening.
Yes. In fact, you would have to upload a headshot. Yes, into the distance. So after you have done that, we at the back end, we go through all the information you've provided, and then we admit you into the community.
Okay.
Then we'll now check again. What are the information you've put up, that you've included? What community did you say you would like to join and all that? So we cross-check with what the community you're saying you would want to join again. Exactly. So that's what we would use in admitting you in. However, like I said, you're allowed to join
just one.
Two. No, you can join two communities, yes. Because there are times that, for instance, last week, while I was trying to onboard a particular person, she told me that she actually filled IT. However, she works in a financial institution.
Okay.
Yes, so she said she would like to be in finance and also IT and technology. Yes, so we had to admit her.
All right. So we have grace to join two.
Yes, two communities.
And the two, do they really have to be similar, or like somebody can want to join the governance and the politics and then also be in the creative?
Yes, I was about going there. For instance, like Pastor Yola said, I think while we're having the launching, he said maybe in the nearest future, you could say you would like to venture into politics.
Okay, so you have that grace to join two
Yes,
two communities,
yes,
and you won't be flagged up for it.
Oh, no. Not more than
Alright.
two.
If
But
not more than two.
Yeah, but the way the system is structured is so that they at the back end ensure you're not in more than two. So it's not an automatic admittance into communities.
So is there like, what's the time frame?
24 to 48 hours is given.
24 to
Yes,
48
because
hours.
we have great people like them.
I think she should have a round of applause at that.
We have great people like them who ensure that the wheels keep running, right?
Wow.
And I think it'd be safe to mention also for now that so far, we've run the YPC on volunteers.
Wow.
Everybody working has worked tirelessly from the back end,
And
without being
from their heart, not because
when
they
I
are
mean
being paid
when I mean from their
or-
heart, from their heart.
Wow.
And you will be blessed to know that the Church of God, Rccg, is blessed with technocrats
Glory to
in
God.
different places. The community in the oil and gas is led by the MD of an oil servicing company. The politics space is being led by a commissioner in a state. It's not just,
It's
I mean,
not
a
just
commissioner in a state
Wow.
is leading the public service community. The banking sector is led by a group head, I mean, a C-level executive in one of the Nigerian banks.
Wow.
The FMCG is led by a director in one of the FMCGs. The technology group is led by a director in one of the, so you can tell that, I mean, art and entertainment is led by BJ Sachs. Just to give an instance. I mean, what better way to explain the beauty that God has blessed the church with? And one of the things that YPC, through our pastor, Pastor Shola Weye, and the IYP, Pastor Belemi Nabunge, have decided is that we must benefit from each other. And that's why YPC is here. Let each one teach one. Let each one reach one. So that...
let each one teach one.
Let each one reach one. So that at least at the end of the day, we don't have people who are just barely surviving. We have people who are thriving.
So it's not just a case of we have people that are here and some people are here.
There has to be
so everybody has to be.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. So for, you mentioned volunteers, that you have the people working behind the scenes are volunteers. So if there are people that want to get involved, how can they reach out? How can they reach out and say, I want to be involved, I want to be part of this movement of God? Okay, you can as well still go through the website. Okay, sorry, please, for the sake of my soldiers that were probably not listening the first time, www.youngprofessionalsclub.org. Okay, www.youngprofessionalsclub.org. The club is important.
Yes.
Okay, so you go there and then...
Yes, so you would write to us, just telling us your interest, how you can be of benefit.
Okay.
Because we really need to know your area of strength so that we'll know how to place you.
Exactly. Okay, so you just write your interests, what you want to do, where you want to serve, and then you guys pick it up.
Yes, we'll take it up.
And the person will be contacted.
Absolutely.
Okay, so...
Be rest assured that the response time is good. Like I said, we have people like Mrs. Iboko and a host of other professionals. The good thing is every person who is driving, even the support team, are also either mid-career or senior career as well. I mean, she's a chartered accountant. The others are brand managers. You have, strong professionals in various fields that are in that community of support team members. So be rest assured that you're coming, so you're serving with people that are also going somewhere. So even if you're coming in as someone who is just at the beginning of your career, you believe you can offer value, you believe you can do so much.
Your services and you're also learning.
Absolutely.
So it's not a thing of you have to wait for 1 week before you get a response.
No.
Maximum 2
48
days.
hours.
48 hours. All right. So now, Pastor, I would like us to talk about the future of YPC. I know we're just starting. But then it's always important to know where we're headed. So you don't really have to tell me like the 10-year plan, but maybe like next year, 2 years from now, 5-year plan.
I mean, when we launched the YPC, the first thing that, and I think it'd be good to give a shout out to some people that were very instrumental at the beginning, people like Pastor David Ugei, Mevin Azeta, Phoebe.
Thank you so much.
Ademola and Joshua Adele. Quite a few of them were, and Pastor Kola Rene also sat through some of the sessions just to listen through and give guidance as to what we're doing. So by doing that whole process, we came up with what we call a roadmap, a 3-year roadmap for the YPC, and that includes the issue of membership. Our target is to have 1 million members by the end of 2027, by the grace of God. And already we are going towards that. In 7 months, we are already inching close to 10,000. Roughly about 8,000 plus members already now across on our database.
Wow.
We're plugging them into communities already. Secondly is that we want to have a strong female representation in RCCG's YPC. And that's, that's a personal vision, and thank God it's been adopted.
So to my female soldiers, please, let's charge up.
It's been adopted. Like you said, I came to the program today. I was accompanied by a female member.
Are you interviewing?
And I'm being interviewed by a female soldier.
Okay.
And even the community right now, we have 6 communities live. 3 are being led by women.
Yeah.
3 are being led by men. The target was 35%, but you know they say shoot for the stars. I mean for the moon, for the sun. You land among the stars, right? So we are gunning for 50%. If we don't meet the 50%, we'll have 35% of women involvement across all the YPC leadership. And that's because we found out that consciously or unconsciously, the women in RCCG are always, trying to stay in the kitchen. The work is actually out there. Let's do the real.
And you're creating a hub where they are welcome and they feel comfortable.
They feel
because that's
like
one thing for ladies. If they don't feel welcome and comfortable, we'll just move to one side.
So that's there. We also want to create enterprise funds, 3 focused enterprise funds, specific industry focused enterprise funds to drive those who are in businesses and support them to grow. Mm-hmm. We also want to have a student membership path by the end of 2027, and that's to ensure that those who are currently graduating from the universities or from the colleges of education or polytechnics can also become members of YPC as student members. And
so not until you are a professional, you're already working.
That's something we are gunning for by 2027, Christ tarrying, God sparing all our lives. And that's because we know that when people are at that stage of their life, they need the most support. They need the most guidance. And so those are the key areas we're looking at. And then more importantly, the biggest of them all is that we want to actually be a big contributor to the Vision 2032 goal of RCCG by ensuring that we have thoroughbred professionals who are not just providing solutions in their marketplaces, but actually being ambassadors of Jesus in those places.
So it's not one without the other at the YPC. No. It is together. There's no career without Christ.
No.
And there's no Christ without career.
I like that.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so for the YPC, you've talked about the future plans, you've talked about the goals, you've talked about the processes on how to be involved and all. And then you said something, you said you launched 7 or 8
six communities
out of 20.
Out of 20, so we have 14.
So what's the timeline for the remaining communities?
When the soldiers show up.
Oh, so it's left to, okay, soldiers, it's left to you.
So we have, like I mentioned, we have 20 communities. We've launched 6 of the 20 communities, and those communities were launched because we had thoroughbred professionals who had what it took to lead, guide, and mentor, and also be available time-wise for our communities. So if you're out there watching, you know that God has blessed you, you have risen to the peak of your career or almost there, and you believe you have something to offer to the people in the legal space, in the energy space, that's power, in the sports, in fashion and beauty, in healthcare. We still have, like I said, 14 key communities that are yet to be filled up. You know that you have what it takes to be a provider of guidance. Please reach out to us, www.youngprofessionalsclub.org, or you can just write to us, info@youngprofessionalsclub.org, and let us know how you want to be part of us. You don't have to be in Lagos. You don't even have to be in Nigeria.
Yeah, because you mentioned that you have people from
you don't have to be in Lagos, you don't have to be in Nigeria. As long as you are at a great point in your career, you also have the ability to pass across knowledge, and you have time on your hand to spare at least once a week to engage with your community. Please reach out to us, and it will be our honor to have you talk to us and then see where you can help us fulfill this big goal that God has given to us.
Yes. So it has been an amazing time talking to both of you. But before we wrap up and leave this segment, I would want both of you to, starting with Mr. Boko, to give an advice to upcoming professionals, people already, working in their profession and want to upscale or build their community? Just a word of advice to them.
Okay. If you want it, you'll get it. Don't feel limited. Yes, there are so many things around you, challenges, Nigeria economy, and all, but don't feel limited. If you want it, you'll get it. That's just all I'll say. My first degree was in history, but today I'm a chartered accountant.
Wow.
Yes, so if you want it, you'll get it.
Okay, thank you. So if you want it, you get it, and you do everything possible to ensure that you get it. Thank you so much, Mrs. Ibuku. And then Pastor Ayo, just a word of advice to young entrepreneurs, creators, innovators, even to students who are watching us right now.
My counsel to you will be for you to know that light shines best in darkness. So you are the light of the world, not just the light of the light. So you're not meant to shine in the church alone. You're meant to take the light of God to the world. So don't hide your identity when you're in the marketplace. Shine. God wants you to do so. It will be a beautiful thing to see you, the things that God will do through every believer in the marketplace. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much to my soldiers for sticking with us. Remember, it's still the youth expression of the Holy Ghost Congress. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short musical break by The Next Generation.
Worshippers, I want to say thank you for blessing us. And again, I have to say thank you to Pastor Ayola and Mrs. Ibukun. That was such an insightful session from the Young Professionals Club. Again, I must say that I'm excited about the future of Rccg. The truth is, there is so much more happening and many more that you probably are not even aware of. So I want to encourage you as much as you can. These opportunities, these initiatives from the mission, please take advantage of them because they are for you. They are primarily for all the young adults and youth of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. So once again, I am excited, and this conversation we're about to have now makes me even more excited about the future of our Rccg. Because right now, we want to talk about money. Yeah, you heard me right. I want to talk about money, investing, wealth creation, finance, and things that has to do with that. And my guest today is a consultant, an investment and business coach. He also happens to be the founder of School of Wealth, and he's a pastor. He pastors the Living Saint Church, The Bridge, Ikeja. Welcome with me, Pastor Femi Oyewumi.
Thank you, Joshua. It's good to be back.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
And by the way, you are looking like money.
You're looking great too.
Thank you
brown is my favorite color, so I like that.
Nice, thank you. We want to talk about money. All right. So let me start from this point. I'm a young man. I want to make money. I want to make a lot of money, loads of money. I want to blow in street parlance. Where do I start from?
Awesome. That's a good question. And I get this question a lot of time. People say, I want to make money. So when I ask them, how much do you want to make? They say, I want to make a lot of money. And that is not smart in itself because you have to break it down into how much do you want to make? At what time do you want to make that amount of money? So I call something drawing your vision board for the actual amount you want to make. When I was starting the year in January, I asked myself, how much will it cost Oluwafemi Oyewumi to live comfortably in the year 2024? And I asked myself, how much will I make eventually at the end of 31st December 2024? And I'm going to ask myself another question that, where is that money going to come from? How do I now multiply that money when it comes to me? Because that's the act of managing. And then moved into the investment part of it. So you have to be really clear where you are going. So let me say to a young man who is currently looking for ways to make money, I want to let you know that money itself is not the focus. Value proposition is what produces money.
Value proposition.
So in the marketplace, we don't necessarily exchange money. What we exchange is actually value for money. So the more value you can bring to the marketplace, the more money is going to be in your hand. It doesn't matter if you are black or you are white, if you can speak good English or not, because sometimes you may not even say a word in the internet what we are today, and you are going to make a lot of money. People don't even need to see your face to actually make money. For example, if you take a student who is currently in school now, I'm going to ask you, what skill set do you have? What can you do? If you talk, you can talk. There's a place online where you can talk and make money. If you can listen well, there are platforms where you can listen to what audiobooks that people have dumped in the place and they don't have time to write it out. So you can transcribe that and get some money. Money even made in USD. Some of them have so much time and they don't know what they are doing with their time. And you have people who have money, who are struggling with their time. I'm currently in that position where I struggle a lot with my time. But you can do a virtual assistant. You can be in Samfara and help me plan my day and plan my activities and get paid for it. But the problem is where those who need the services and those who have the capacity to do the service don't have a place to meet before now. And many are still living in that ignorance. And that's why you see a lot of people out there, time but no money. And they don't know how to convert that into money-making opportunities.
You have mentioned a few ways where people can make money. You sound like you have a lot of money-making ideas. Let's have them. That's what this conversation is about. It's about making money.
Awesome. All right. Okay, let's get, again, I always let people know because in the School of Wealth, we have a whole lot of people coming to us to say, oh, I really want to get started and all of that. And when we get into it, you realize that some of them are not genuinely looking for how to make money, but they are looking for people to sort their 2K urgency and all of that out. But let me talk to, I want to believe that this is a platform where people who are genuinely want to transform their life are trying to listen to me to see what can I take on right now.
Yeah.
So, for example, do you know the act of copywriting? It's a huge market.
Copywriting?
Yes, copywriting is a huge market because a lot of people are writing projects and all of those things and all that. And copywriters are making a lot of money. What does it require? You need to learn something that takes you about 6 weeks to learn. I can show you the platform where you can go and upskill yourself on that platform and you become a copywriter. I tell you today, I have more than 5 people who are a copywriter that earns about $100 every week. If you take $100 in a month, that's $400. Convert $400, multiply by 1,007. And that's in Naira. They are better off some of their parents that are going to work in this covering distance and all of that. That's one.
Okay.
Transcribing that I mentioned to you, there are a lot of transcribers as cheap as, they pay some people as cheap as $5. And if you have the time to pick up transcribing work that you can do, spend like 20 hours, I'm not even giving you too much, do 20 hours in a week, multiply 20 by 5. Because each hour is $5. So if you multiply that, you see that. But when you have people who are not willing to even learn to take themselves off that space, then it becomes a problem. So what you need to do is ask the right question. At your state where you are now, what can I do with my time? It may be your time. And I always tell people that the source of you looking at what you want to do, you want to consider your interests. You want to listen to people's problem. People complain a lot about Nigerians are so good at that, and that has fetched me a lot of money. So if I'm in a place and people are making complaints about something that is not working, my posture today is, how can I provide a solution? Interestingly, Joshua, you know that I may not have the competency to deliver that, but there is something they call an act of middleman. I look for the person who has the solution and connect that person with the person who needs the service. I get a commission paid for doing that. Take the people who are jackpotting, let me use that word, and they have cars and all of that they want to sell. And they don't have a platform where they can actually sell it. And some of these young people have 20,000, 10,000 people following them. All they do is to post their new clothes, post their new hairstyle there. That's all, vibes.
The drip.
But you know that without taking that person's car away from his own compound and his house, you can put it up on your platform. I bought one of my Lexus Jeep about 4 years ago from a teenager that I had a session with them like this, and he listened to me and started while he was in Unilag. He sold the car to me. I was the one that went to the port to go and clear the car with the mechanic and all that. He didn't step out of Unilag campus. On that transaction, he made 550,000 naira. He didn't even disclose to me until I finished the transaction because he was afraid that if I know that he's the one, I probably cut the commission down. But that's how interesting. Today, that guy, I was checking on him yesterday. He's in Qatar, having vacation, alone, enjoying himself because that little information has transformed. He moved from selling cars to now selling land, real estate, proper estate, because now I have a platform where people come to. And again, in doing business, people want to see your integrity. The moment your yes is yes and your no is no, people will definitely patronize you.
So you've spoken about tech-based businesses like copywriting, transcribing and things like that. You've also spoken about skills, marketing. What about people who their forte is in the career path, where they feel they will thrive better working in a corporate organization? There's this thing they say that money, salary or job is the, what's it called? Salary is the bribe you are paid to forget your dreams and things like that. Is there no hope for people in the corporate space to also build wealth? Or does it have to be with me selling something or, doing something as far as tech is concerned?
Joshua, absolutely not. I mean, I can mention the salary of some CEOs in Nigeria that some business owners can never make in the next 10 years, and they get it from salary. Your business may be managing other people's businesses. That's for career people. So there are people who are very good at starting up something, but they cannot run it operationally. And your business is to manage those things for them. You have a career path, absolutely great. But I want to ask you, when you are going into that job, do you see that job as a job to you, or you have become an entrepreneur with that job that you're doing? I've had over 15 years working for people, and I've taken all those businesses as if it's my business. And that was why it was easy to translate my attitude, my ways of doing, working for those people into my own, because one way or the other, I had to take those skills along with you. So for people who don't want to sell and all of that, you can build career path. There are many things. So let me give you an example. You want to ask yourself, if I'm in your shoe right now and you want to be in your career, you want to ask yourself, what are the future jobs? This singular question I've asked, if you put it on Google, it will tell you multiple competencies that is required for future purposes. Interestingly, AI has come. Many of those skills that we have before now are no longer going to be relevant. And we don't want to ask yourself, what would be the future? One of it, let me let you know, is that very interesting. Negotiation is one of the future, but I'm telling you, your ability to negotiate on behalf of people and get paid. In the US today, people are living on that. In Dubai, people are living on that. Just to go on behalf of people and negotiate on their behalf. It's interesting to you. It sounds like it's something simple, but people get heavily paid for doing that. There are a lot of tech related, because now, even if you are making shoes, you want to ask yourself, before I go make this particular shoe, how many people are buying it? Data driven. Data analysts are going to become like oil and gas individuals in the future of job. Let me give you something very interesting I did when I was consulting for a friend who wanted to release a song. He has received this song from the Holy Spirit, and I believe so much that this is the song that God has given him and the world needs to listen to him. And I said to him, who are your targeted audience? He was confused. He wanted to reach out to everybody. I said, you may not reach out to everybody at the start, but there are some audiences that must take this song everywhere you go. Let me open up something very big to you, and where it's not confidential. I didn't work for them. Maverick Music. Yeah. Do you listen to the last song they sang that was everywhere? Omema.
Yeah.
They went to Spotify. They went to Apple Music and asked them, what are the song people are searching for? And they told them at that time that it was Igbo song. They put a lyrics of Igbo into that song, and that was the major breakthrough. That's the selling point. Can you see how data has driven everything that they are doing? I want to let you know. Go and check some of the Nigerian guys that are singing today. All of them in the album now have Igbo song inside of it.
Interesting. Now, people are making money either from personal businesses, either from tech-based businesses, or even jobs. But then, for those who probably live in this part of the world where there's a lot around inflation, how expensive things are, so much so that what people earn is not even enough to cover the operation cost on a daily basis. How can you save to even talk about investing when what you currently earn doesn't even meet your current needs?
Okay, there was something Mr. President said a few weeks ago that broke my heart, but I had to go back and sit back that I think is making sense. He said that we were living a fake life before now, that we are now in the reality of things. Now, there's something I call adjustment in one of our modules in the School of Wealth. Your ability to sit with yourself and be true to yourself. I'm going to cite this scenario. There was a lady who comes to clean and gets about 60,000 naira per month, but she's working that job on the island, and she lives here in Mowe. and her transportation is about 45,000. So how she has been augmenting it is that she joins some people to carry her so that she can reduce the cost of that transportation. And I said to her, when we had that conversation, this is an elderly person, and I said to her, if you get a cleaning job inside Redemption City that pays you 40,000, mommy, you are better off going to Marina. I said, health-wise, you'll be better off. The money-wise, she said, no, but the salary is more. I said, it's not. When you come from away to Redemption City and we look at your transportation, about 15,000, you still have about 25,000 at your disposal to play with. But when you go to Lagos and you do 45,000, you are left with 15,000. And that was when she came to the realization that what I was saying makes sense. Many of our people are not doing adjustment with the inflation and the policies government are doing now. People still live based on the way they used to get money before and all of that. You have to be true to yourself. So you must live within your means. That's our goal. It's one of the rules of sustenance. You must live within your means. If you earn 100,000 and your cost is 90,000 and you have 10,000 disposal, if another person earns 1 million and his current cost is 1.1 million, it will be in deficit of 100,000 every month. By the end of that year, that person will be owing 1.2 million. Why the guy who has 10,000 disposal multiplied by 12, he has what? 120,000 is richer than the person who is earning 1 million. So the first thing you need to do is to do an adjustment. Ask yourself, people are so big about how much comes to them, but they don't pay attention to what takes money away from them. So you have to pay attention to that. You need to sit with what is taking money away from me. You need to be very clear. So for me, what has changed for me is that any money that comes to me does not go back without first thinking on how I'm going to multiply it. And that's how I get richer with anything that comes to me. But you see some people, even before the money comes, and that's part of the money mistake. Before money comes, you already...
It's gone.
The only thing you are doing when the money comes is trying to meet those needs. Remember, you are not El Shaddai. You can't take care of everything at the same time. So you must model a way to attend to certain things. There are things you need to defer for a later time, and there are some things you need to focus on and deal with at the present time. These are more. You need to be educated. You can be a professor or a medical student and you are zero when it comes to finance. And that's why you need a coach to journey with you in all of these things.
Let's talk about the money mistakes people make. All right, in your own expertise, being a financial consultant and things like that, what are the mistakes that many times people make when it comes to building wealth?
Yeah, so I will just, let me put it on 3 items because basically these are questions we get most of the time. Number one is that I've seen many times is that people think that everything they can afford is good for them. And that is wrong. For the fact that I have money to buy bag of rice, maybe I can afford 10 bags of rice, and I'm not distributing to anybody. I just want to stock the rice at home. Because I have money now, I'll now go and buy 10 bags and keep at home. Give me 6 months, some of them will begin to run bad. Or I say, because I have money, I want to buy 10 bags of salt and put at home. That's how many are living their lives. So it's money mistake. You have to ask yourself, is it in the bucket of necessity or your want? So I have a rule in how I attend to needs and all of that. Focus on your needs. When you have excesses, you can go on your want. So that's one. Secondly, people live on promissory notes. So promise money, and for example, you borrow somebody has come to you and say, please, urgency, borrow me 100,000. Maybe you have like 150,000 in your disposal. You didn't think well. At the point when that person is coming to you, you need that 50,000 to run through the months before the next one is coming. And now you have parted the way with 100,000 in bid of that person. And the person has come to borrow without intention to return it. You are going to fall into financial stress that month, or even into the next month. And business people also understand what I'm saying. So before you take a decision on what to do with your money, you must be crystal clear. It's like you are walking from the book to your reality. But money mistake that people, they do the reality first, and when they are in trouble, they come back to the book. In fact, some people will be too sad to come back to the book. Every time you write down what you want to use the money for, there is something I call a magic reading with my wife. When I write those things down and I begin to read it back to her, I'm going to ask myself, how did this one make my list? So I will expunge it. Oh, we can't do this now. Let's do this at a later time. or we can afford to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We release that. These are ways to, curb all of those mistakes. Another one is wasteful spending. It's one of the big money mistakes. People, do you know, Joshua, people shop when they are sad.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be a window shopping. You get to shop right, and you are supposed to just look at things, or you want to make a list, and then you discover that you are in. Because you have the ATM with you and you go buy. Let me say this. Not all Ashwebi is meant for you. If you are in the habit of buying everybody's Ashwebi, you are going to put yourself into trouble. If you have the color, wear it where your steez is there. Show up, big. Laugh, enjoy yourself. Because when you are doing your own occasion too, it's not everybody that is going to buy your Ashwebi.
Nice.
So that discipline needs to be everything you do. It needs to show. And do you know why I love money so much? Because it shows your behavior. If I want to know how well you have done this year, I'll ask you to download your bank statement from January till date and take a look at the items in there. You know there are 3 columns in your bank statement: the debit, the credit, and the balance.
Balance, yeah.
Some people, if you look at their balance, is enough to buy a brand new car. But when you look at the balance, available balance, you can't take them to Lagos.
No, that thing you just said can be really, really depressing.
No.
You're asking yourself, where exactly did this money come from? This figure doesn't look like what I look like.
Absolutely.
So let's go on to this part of investing. All right, I save, for instance, but then having run my expenses, operations, what is left is just something very small, and then I save it on a monthly basis. But then I want to create wealth legally, morally, righteously, and very fast. How do I speed up my wealth creation process?
All right. So there are many platforms that encourages your pathway to wealth. And this is not a paid partnership. I always say this. I am not here to sell any product. Anything I'm talking about are platforms I've used, and I don't get paid for talking about them. But because we are here, I also need to open up. Do you know that even if you have 1,000 naira, you can start your wealth journey? There are shares that sells as 1 naira 40 kobo. I bought some shares in January. I bought some at 40 kobo. Currently, they are about 2 naira. Joshua, if you do the math, I've done more than 200% on some of those shares. And you can buy as little as 5,000 naira shares that you can. The only thing you need a guidance on what to buy anyway. And that's why I talk about financial code. Do you know there's a platform called Optimus app where you can put in your money, which is an high savings investment. So it's like savings, but they give you interest as against what your commercial bank is doing, where they deduct your SMS, deduct COT from your account, and it's reducing. Even when you don't do any activity, they'll still charge you. On this platform, you put that money there, and it gives you interest on a daily basis. As little as 1,000 naira to get started, and as much as you can. And in a year, you have about, I think currently they run about 20% interest annually. So what I mean is that 20%, if you analyze it, is 20%, but daily they break it down into what it is every day. Now, the good thing about that, away from fixed deposit, is that in fixed deposit, when you enter into that agreement today, you cannot withdraw that money until the maturity.
Yes.
The beautiful thing about this platform is that you can wake up tomorrow and still put money into it as an addition. So that day will be the existing money you have plus that money you have added will now increase your interest for that day, and it keeps going like that. Interestingly, if you fall into any need and you want to take a withdrawal, you can withdraw as much as 4 times in a month to earn the interest for that month. What are you saying? As a student, even if you start with keeping 1,000 naira every day or every week, by the time it's 6 months, you have something to start with. And that's why I always tell someone, start from somewhere. See, you don't wait until you have 100,000 to start investment. With what you have, get started. The danger of putting it in a savings account and keeping it there is because inflation is going to turn that in and reduce the value in your hand. But as much as you have it increasing basis, even when inflation comes, you still have something that has been added to what you have before. So it's something I think everybody should try. I use Afri Invest 2.0 for the shares platform. I use Optimus app. And let me also open you up to some of the secrets. Rather than going to the commercial bank, I know bankers will not like what I'm saying now. Rather than going to the GT, all those big banks to do your fixed deposit, go to the microfinance. They offer more high interest, but ensure that they are secured with NDIC.
So
NDIC is in Nigeria.
I think we need to talk about this at this point, right?
Okay.
A couple of years ago, many of us, many people that I know, and probably you know, engaged in investment platforms and things like that and lost a lot of money. Many people fell trap of that 2020, 2021, and some till date are still not recovered from it. For some who have even recovered financially, there's still that trauma and all of that. So there's a fear of investment. What is the guarantee that if I put my money into this space, I will leave profit first? I will get my money back. All right. How do we deal with the fear of investing?
So, fear is not real. Let me start with that. If you ask me, my
people,
job,
they
no.
turn out to be
so
real.
Again, I always let people know that you have to understand what we call risk.
Okay.
Josh, by the mercies of God and the grace of God, we are going to see tomorrow. But there is no guarantee of tomorrow. But we wake up, we go to bed hoping that we are going to wake up tomorrow. So courage is not an absence of that fear. But this is the mistake people make when they are going into investment. People invest in what they don't understand. Let me give you an example. So you have come to me with excitement to say, oh, there's one investment somewhere that pays you just earn 100,000 within a month. And you want me to come and on board on that investment. Do you know on your pedigree, I will go and do the investment. That's what many people did. I'll go and do that investment because you said it to me.
Yes.
But it may be that out of your 1 million, you have set aside 100,000 to say, I can only risk 100,000 on this. But you have introduced this to me. I'll now go to my wife. Give me 5 million. I go to my brother. Give me 5 million. And put it on the same investment that you only parted away with 100,000. So let's say the next month, everything has collapsed. Will you walk away? You will walk away now because you still have 900,000. But will I be able to move on? I won't be able to move on because I've put
move on to debt.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's the point where you'll not be able to recover. When you want to go into investment, the first thing you need to do first, it doesn't matter if it's your pastor that is saying it or anybody that is saying it. There's something they call due diligence. Who are the owners of this business? What is this business doing? Does it align with your goals? There are certain companies that I cannot invest in, no matter how profitable it is, because I don't believe in what they are doing. You know, for example, I don't drink alcohol. I don't do that. There are shares I will never buy because of my religion and my belief. No matter how profitable it is. There are certain opportunities that have come to me. I've prayed about it and the Holy Spirit is saying no on this. And thank God I didn't venture into it because I have to pray before getting it done. So don't be quick to jump on any investment. You have to take your time. So imagine that when you are doing due diligence, and again, you may not be able to do it. We may need to talk to some financial experts to do it on your behalf. Let me find out. I heard they are doing this. Let me find out what's the genuinity about this. There are platforms that rate the companies, even the banks, that rate them. How is their performance doing before you get into investing with them? I mean, one day, Warren Buffett sold off one of his shares and the whole market went crashing because of one man's decision. But people did not ask, why did he do that? The man moved from there to Treasury B. After the government, is the second highest holder of US Treasury B. He knew the direction it was going. So before you jump in, what is this investment about? How does it align with my own goal? So for example, if I have 1 million naira and I want to get married in December next year, and you have come to me to come and buy shares that we are hoping that is going to appreciate in the next 5 years, will that meet my December next year goal? Doesn't make sense. So I won't tie money down for something like that. But if you tell me that, oh, there's something we can do in the next 6 months, I'm going to make some profit out of it, and I can use the money, my capital back for a project I'm doing in December. Absolutely, yes. I'm going to jump on it. So do the diligence on the investment you want to do. That's number one. Secondly, does it align with your goals? Thirdly, you now need to check what is the substance over form on what you are doing. How risky is it? So I always advise diverse. They call something like diversity. You have to look at, no matter how juicy the return is on this. If I have 100,000, I will never put 100,000 on a single investment. So I will spread it across board. And I have a ratio of doing that, but time will not permit us to get deep into that.
So, time indeed is not our friend. But then we have to, you mentioned how do your due diligence. You've spoken about asking questions. Are there platforms where the knowledge gap between financial illiteracy and financial literacy can be bridged, or are there platforms where I could actually get insights to know what to put my money into, when to pull out? Where can I look to for knowledge?
So there are a lot of platforms today. I mean, even free platforms where financial literacy we are minding the gap. And one of it is also the School of Wealth.
Yes.
Every Monday I'm online there telling people about opportunities, investment opportunities and all that. Even organizations have come and say, let's partner on this and make money on this and all that. The stage where we are now is the stage of minding that gap as many as possible. And my focus really is on believers, because I've seen that even people outside the church seemingly know what to do, and they are taking leap step in achieving their goals. But for us as young people, there is now time for us to help as many as possible. If you are the only shining light among 1 million people, you are still going to deal with a lot of darkness. And as a soldier, you must realize that there's no need for any excuse again. This is the time to start running. So I want to throw this at you. Make up your mind that the year 2025 is going to be different. And it starts from the place of knowledge. Sign up on School of Wealth. It's free. Just follow us on IG. There are many other platforms where you can. And you can begin to learn. Find out some informations where you are exposed to will give you a better decision that you're going to make. And the days of MMM will be gone. I'm
gone
telling
forever.
you.
Never again.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Pastor Femi, for that beautiful insight. It's been a nice time having this conversation. Dear soldier, it is time to build yourself financially, to build yourself in wealth creation, investing. So much has been said. How this will profit you is what you do with all that you have heard. Once again, Pastor Femi, thank you for coming on this session.
It's my pleasure to be here.
It is still the young adults and youth expression arm of the Congress. We are not done yet. We'll be right back. Stay with us as we go on a musical break. Stay with us. God bless you.
now advert.
For inquiries and feedback, kindly call these numbers 0815 557 9502, 0703 842 6517, 0802 817 8791, and 0803 359 2241. God bless you.
And welcome back to the youth expression of the 2024 Holy Ghost Congress themed Onward Christian Soldier. Now, if you think we are done, we are not actually done because we're taking flight. We're still going. So I need you to charge up. I need you to get ready because we're about to go. Praise the Lord. All right. So from the beginning, we've been talking about the soldier's spiritual life and lifestyle. We've talked about the soldier's career. We've talked about the soldier's finance. And piggybacking on the soldier's career, we're going to be talking about the soldier, creative and technology, and also the future. And with me in the studio are two beautiful and very equipped guests who are going to help us dissect this topic. To my right, we have Pastor Daniel Waji. He is an AI solutions architect and also a leadership professional who serves as one of the pastors in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the Fountain of Life Sanctuary. You're welcome, sir. And to his right is Minister Mojisola Session Aino. She is a social media marketer, a brand builder. I think she's doing everything all in one. You're welcome, ma. You're welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you. So, like we're talking about before we came on air, I was talking about the Congress. How far have you enjoyed the Congress?
Wow.
Because I know you've been busy a little bit. We talked about it, but how have you enjoyed it? You know, joining maybe virtually a little bit. How has it been so far for you? Any one of you?
Okay.
Okay, Congress have been really impactful. We've been behind the scenes, working back to back. And so far, I would say I am thoroughly blessed. You know, each word, every person that has come on stage, whether via singing or preaching the word or sharing a word of prayer, have been really impactful. And I just say for those soldiers who are still sitting at home, they are actually missing a lot. I mean, if you look at me really well, my muscles are bigger. You know, I'm really pumped up for what will happen tomorrow and Friday.
Yes, so you heard it. If you are still at home, soldier, you are wrong. All right, Pastor Daniel, how has the Congress been for you?
The Congress has been awesome.
Glory
so the reality of being a soldier for Christ, a Christian soldier, is beginning to dawn on us. What it takes to be a soldier, what sacrifices you need to make. For instance, that you talked about the fast beginning from next year. I mean, 100 days. I mean, the reality of the discipline of a soldier is beginning to dawn on us. And more than ever before, at times like this, we need to equip ourselves.
Yes. And that's what this entire youth segment is all about. We're equipping the young people on different spheres of life. So like I mentioned, we've talked about our finances and we had a little talk about our career. And this session is also flowing in the theme of our careers, but it's talking about technology, and it's talking about the future, and talking about the creative. So, Pastor Daniel, if for people that are just maybe passing by online and they just stumbled on, on this broadcast, can you give us an overview of what, the creative soldier is all about, of what technology has to do with the soldier and everything, and our careers and our life?
Now, you see, over time, the challenge of creativity is not so much about what to create. It's more about how to create. And so, like never before, it is time for people to begin to connect with available channels, opportunities, wisdom, knowledge required for them to be able to begin to know how to create. For instance, you have a creative designer. You ask him to design something, maybe a flyer for the church. He knows he wants to design a flyer, but he needs to know how. How do I do it? How do I get it done? So technology is now available to assist creatives to be more effective and more efficient in creativity. And while I was meditating on this, it came on me that really, if we are able to harness just a bit of information that is out there, there's so much we can achieve as creatives.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So there's so much that we can do as creative, and then using technology. So I'm going to come to Mojisola. And, Pastor Daniel said, using technology, we can harness. There are a lot of things that we can harness. And then when I was reading your profile, I said that there are so many things that you are doing. So to the Christian soldier out there, how can we thrive? Whether it's in our career, whether it's in our business, or whichever sphere of life that we belong to, how can we thrive using technology, without having to compromise our values? Because, technology has its positive and its negative side, but without watering down our values, how can we thrive using technology?
Okay, I'm going to use a very funny example, because actually very, very easy for soldiers like you and I to thrive, using technology. Sometime this week, we needed to do something. We needed to write captions. And I just wasn't getting the right captions. It wasn't really flowing. For me, I use AI technology, as it were. So I try to train it to give me exactly what I want. Okay. So at that particular time, I needed to create content. And I needed the right captions to put in the content. And I got several things. They just weren't working. So I told somebody, I said, have you tried AI? And I gave them the best AI I use, And then immediately the AI came. I said, oh, this is not exactly what I'm looking for. Could you please put in... I told the AI, okay, I want this particular thing. I was specific. And I got the exact text I want. So you can thrive with technology by feeding the technology exactly what you want. You are giving instructions. Remember that I'm using AI a lot because most of the things we use around us are actually revolving or emerging around those areas. So you can thrive by, taking advantages of these opportunities. You can use, if you're a content creator, you can use some of these AI tools. You can use softwares. If you're a gamer in education, it can help you. It just makes your work easier and it makes you more knowledgeable. You become a wealth of ideas.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pastor Daniel.
Yeah.
What are some of the trends? You were talking about AI, that you use it for captions and all that. Is AI the only trend that we have when it comes to technology, or are there other trends? And then how do we access these trends? How do we use these things? Where do we just set your line, and then how do we use them?
All right, so let me start from this background. You see, we have 3 levels of intelligence, 3 basic levels of intelligence. You have supernatural intelligence, you have natural intelligence, and you have artificial intelligence. Now, every one of us as soldiers of Christ need to understand that the ability of a soldier, or maybe an armed force, an association of soldiers, to be excellent in whatever they do is dependent on their level of intelligence. Your level of intelligence determines your level of excellence. If you are, for instance, spiritually intelligent, you should be able to decipher what's going on in the spirit and be able to sort out whatever problems may come. If you are naturally intelligent, you should be able to decipher what challenges are around naturally and be able to solve the problems.
Exactly.
If you are artificially intelligent, it means you are able now to not just deploy your natural intelligence, but also to make use of technology to solve problems. So really, at this time, we have artificial intelligence, we have augmented reality, we have virtual reality. But I don't want us to concentrate on augmented reality and virtual reality. Why? Because we prefer for you to start where you can. Start from where it is easier for you to begin to flow. Now, reality is that artificial intelligence has come, and most of us are running away from it. Most of us feel that it is reducing our level of intelligence. And it's because we are not deploying it creatively to solve problems. For instance, the example she gave, she said, oh, I needed to create captions, and I requested for, I prompted the AI application to give me a solution. Now, what happened was that when she got the solution she got was not what she wanted. So she had to refine it. Now, that's where your creativity comes in. You don't take just what AI has given you and deploy it directly and expect to be ingenuine or expect to be... So your creativity has to come on board. So whether you're a graphics designer or you are a social media manager or you are a whatever field of your endeavor, whether you are an engineer, in fact, even if you're a pastor, I mean, you can deploy AI to be excellent in your area of service. Remember, you are a soldier. Without intelligence, you will not be able to be excellent.
Okay, so it comes, technology, it's aiding. It's not like it's the main thing. Even though you use it, you still have your own knowledge and your own creativity to put your own essence to put into
your
what you're doing.
Your supernatural intelligence, your natural intelligence to put into it.
Yeah, so you don't just do copy and paste.
No.
Yeah, it's actually a symbiotic relationship. You know, the AI is in one place and then the human is in one place. The AI dwells on the knowledge, residual knowledge, the knowledge that you have fed it. You know, AI it actually needs internet to function. So if you prompt an AI to do so and so thing, what the AI does is it quickly checks, you know, and then it gives you solution. And then if you're not, you know, satisfied with that particular prompt that the AI is giving you, what you need to do immediately is actually to say, okay, refine the question, and then it eventually gives you what you want. So you given the AI a prompt, you need to also be creative. So it's not like, you know, because we usually say that a lot of people actually depend on these technologies, forgetting that their source is God. And because we are made in the direct image of God, we're actually like God. We're as creative as God is. We are full of that grace to be creative. So even whilst the AI is working, we should not think that the AI actually has all knowledge. God is the one that has all knowledge.
Yes, thank you so much. So I'm still coming to you. You know, I said you're a brand builder, and a lot of young people out there, a lot of young Christians, we're trying to build our brand, we're trying to build ourselves. How can we use this help of technology to, should I say, positively build up our brand and positively put ourselves out there on maybe whatever, any of our craft or our careers or anything like that?
Okay, so I'll give you a typical example. We have two companies who are trying to particularly sell a product. And what's that product? I'm using product, you know, because we talked about brand. The product is, okay, I want to sell the idea that I went to heaven. Okay? I'm saying heaven. A lot of people hear about heaven. Some of you may probably not have read it in the Bible, and the Holy Spirit may not have given you enough information because maybe you were not particularly listening when he was describing. Okay, so these two people stand here and they're trying to typically describe heaven. So what happens is the smart person, I'm going to use myself as a smart person.
Yes.
I'll decide that, okay, I want to sell this thing. I'm going to use virtual reality to describe heaven. I'll make sure there are tiny bits of gold here. I put some frankincense. I put all the beautiful, you know, beautiful gemstones that you probably know about, that the Bible has talked about. I give you a flow to how the pearly gates is as described. I give you a beautiful description through virtual reality, you know, about how the angels look and everything. Then this other person is standing here right by my right, and he's also trying to sell the same product, but he's just talking and talking and talking and talking. please, my dear sister, who are you going to buy from? By the time I finish, listen, I've not finished my conversation now. By the time my photographer and the video person and the creative person, they're finished doing what they need to do, and I take you through that virtual reality, that this is heaven. These soldiers marching, they are going to heaven. And you come, sir, you have to go to heaven. Who will you buy from?
It's undisputed. You go for the virtual one that
from me,
gives
aren't you?
Yes.
So that's it. We just have to embrace technology, but at the same time, like I've been saying, I don't want to sound like a broken record. We have to recognize that God is the source of all knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So technology has its advantage, but then don't forget the place of God. Don't forget the place of God's wisdom and God's knowledge. And even as a creative, even as you are using technology to make advancements and uplift yourself and move forward, don't forget that your knowledge, your wisdom comes ultimately from God. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, Pastor Daniel, like I said, it's creative and the future. So looking into the future, what are the things that we should expect from technology? And then what are the things that we should look out or look towards, as a creative and also with technology?
Now, two ways. One, you can look at what others are doing and how you can apply yourself.
Yes.
And you can also come up with ideas yourself for solutions or for problems that are already existing. For instance, someone like, forgive me to mention his name, Elon Musk. He had noticed that for you to travel from Nigeria to the US, maybe if God helps you, maybe 12 hours. You understand? But he had come up with an idea that he wants to make sure that the longest time you spend on flight between any two destinations in the world will be 1 hour.
Oh.
Wow.
So he's making a spacecraft that will take anybody to any destination in the world within 1 hour.
I wouldn't be riding that one.
Now, what this brings to us is that for you to be able to live in the future, you must be ready to discover solutions to problems that are existing. Now, why technology is there is to assist you solve problems. If you have not discovered a problem, how will you solve it? Do you understand?
Yes.
So, for instance, Jesus gave us a great commission. He said, go into all the world, preach the gospel to every creature, and lo, I'm with you always to the end of the age.
Time.
Now, the assignment we have is not to Nigeria alone, it's not to Lagos, it's not to Ogun State. It is to the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
So, my thought as a creative or as someone who is ready to deploy technology is to see how technology will assist me to achieve that goal. This is God's problem. He wants to reach the rest of the world. How am I going to solve this problem with technology? Now, so this is what takes you into the future. You begin to live in the future when you are thinking of solutions. Because everybody is facing a problem. The actual fact is that if you want to be ahead of others, you must be able to look at a solution that you can profile to the problems that they are facing. Then they will pay you for it, you'll be celebrated for it, and then your name will go into the annal and the records of the world that you have done something. So actually, what I think we should do now is not just to begin to think of maybe creating a new technology. Can we even maximize the technology that is on ground? Can we maximize it? Can we use it to the fullest? Can we maximize the availability of artificial intelligence? Can we maximize the availability of augmented realities? Can we maximize the availability of virtual realities? Can we do this? Once we're able to maximize the technology that is available now, then we'll be ready for whatever invention, whatever technology is to come in the future. Like I mentioned, maybe in a few years, maybe 2 years from now, perhaps we'll begin to see that spacecraft. And then it will be like, wow. In 1 hour, I'll be in the US. You can't imagine it. So you can imagine within, Daddy Gio does go fishing end of the year. You understand? He goes from state to state. Imagine that he has to now do this from Nigeria to Australia in 1 hour.
Wow.
What will happen to his adrenaline? His heart will be beating too fast.
Now, all those stuff will be brought into consideration in the setting of that craft. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I believe that the future is now. The future is now. What you do with now determines what future you're going to have.
Thank you so much, sir. You know, you said something that is very, very key. It is finding solutions to the problem. So you look around, as a creative, you look around and then you find solutions. That's what leads us into the future. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so even as we begin to wind down, I want to ask Mr. Mojisola, what advice would you give to our young, vibrant, energetic youths out there that are charging, you know, whether they are business owners or they are creatives or they are career people? What advice would you give to them putting technology in mind on how to thrive, on how to move forward, and how to bring the future or harness the future that is now?
Thank you very much. I would like to say that for young people, the opportunity you can take is right here before you. It is now. It is happening before your eyes. When you punch on your phone and you're trying to get direction to a place, use the Google map. That thing that gives you that direction, that thing that is talking, that is making that sound on your phone, that's AI. Try to simplify, make life easy for yourself. I'm not saying that you should overly stop forgetting the fact that you have a lot of potentialities, you have a lot of creative ability, and swing totally, like 100% towards technology. I'm just saying that there's a lot that is right before you, a lot of potentials that you can tap into to make things faster for you. Whether you're an artist, you're singing, whether you're a dancer, whether you're a content creator, whether you're an educator, whether you're a doctor, there are a lot of ways that you can simplify your work. You can make your work better than the next person. So embrace what technology has brought to you right now. Don't just open your phone in the morning and go to TikTok and dance, dance things that are maybe like grossly unnecessary. Go there and activate the things you need to activate and ensure that whilst you are doing it, based on the theme of this Holy Ghost Congress, you are actually moving forward and not backward. So instead of using things, using this technology in the negative way, turn it around to create wealth for yourself. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You saw my profile and you were like, I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot because I'm tapping into what I see now. And I'm actually hitting it as I should.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, Pastor Daniel, just your final word of support to our young people. We're talking about marching forward, about moving onwards, and we're looking and advancing into the future. So that's your word of support to them.
Well, my final word will be, words. Now, first, please delete technophobia from your everyday life. Many people have phones. They are not even able to deploy the usage of their phones.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, avoid technophobia. God is clear about the spirit that is at work in you. God has not given you the spirit of fear, but the spirit of love, of power, and of a sound mind. It is important that you go headlong, face any technology device that you need to maximize.
Exactly.
Whatever technology services you need to maximize, go ahead, maximize them, use them, and you will be better for it.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So you've heard it. Soldiers, do not be afraid. As soldiers, we are to stand our ground and take the bulls by the horn. Thank you so much for joining us on this session. It's been a pleasure having you. Yeah. And we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, trust that the youth expression still continues.
Yes.
About 200 amazing talents have graced the stage so far. 129 of them were able to qualify for the second auditions. Indeed, our perspectives have been shifted incredibly. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about time that we get into the show. Let's go there.
Hey, Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Let the worshiper in you wake up. Let the worshiper in you wake up. story. You are my song.
Hold up. I am down, my heart goes weary. When troubles come and my heart burden me, and I am still.
Stop. I think the major thing you know about the song is just the chorus. You don't really know the song. For me, maybe.
I don't know for this competition, but if you have to use the voice that you have, then you need to knock it out where you put it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But on this one is a maybe.
Well, I did not enjoy it at all, so it's a no from me.
Down till I'm found, believe the 99. I don't deserve it, I couldn't end it till you gave yourself. I don't deserve it till you gave yourself away. No, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. No shadow you will light up.
I never fell. I did almost all I was supposed to, but in my profession, little lies I have to tell. For that single reason, are you seriously going to send me to hell?
This blood, it cries louder than the blood of Abel.
Nothing. I've been needing a lot of votes. Yeah.
To RFS, Raphael for Shift supporters, I just want to say first of all, I love you guys so much. Thank you very much for your votes. You are the ones that have been keeping me in this competition back to back. But we can do this. Well, still, by God's special grace, we will get to the semi-final. But I cannot do this without your votes. I beg. I want you.
Please keep voting for me, and I can do it. I know that I can. Just keep believing in me. Thank you.
She says she can do it.
His name is Iron Break. Iron.
And say I am here for you. One for all, for one. The trophy is for you. The trophy is for all. Of cash and a deal of 10 million naira. And a car goes to Bemileke Agbete Juicy. And once again, okay, that is the car key. And once again, we want to say thank you to Dad and Mom for giving their youths an opportunity to express the gifting of God in their lives. And it's our belief, it's our prayers and knowledge that as the youths and young adults go forth, they will dominate, exercising dominion in the name of Jesus. God bless you.
About 200 amazing talents have graced the stage so far. 129 of them were able to qualify for the second auditions. Indeed, our perspectives have been shifted incredibly. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about time that we get into the show. Let's go there.
Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Let the worshiper in you wake up. Let the worshiper in you wake up. Hey!
is my story. You are my song. He said, hold up. I am down. My heart's so weary.
Welcome back. It is still the Congress Youth Expression of the Holy Ghost Congress year 2024. I want to believe that you've been having an amazing time learning, being blessed, being inspired to use all of the abilities and all the grace and gifts that God has given unto you. And not just that, all of the initiatives and expression of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. I hope you are learning. I hope you're getting acquainted with all of these things and you are planning to maximize them. Right now, we are proceeding with another interesting conversation. I want to talk about godly talents. And this afternoon, I have with me live in the studio the Director of International Shift, Young Adult and Youth Global of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Ifeanyi Steve Oze. Please welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. And God bless Nigeria.
Yeah, God bless Nigeria. And also I have with me Pastor Sheye Dairo. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having us.
It's good to have you here.
Same here.
There is a common narrative, and I think it's a good place for us to start. Arguably, people are of the opinion, many people are of the opinion that the church is losing its talents in music, arts, various forms of expression, that the church is losing this talent to the world. There are many people in the secular space who, doing music and all such things, who have the root from the church choir. Pastor Steve, what's your opinion on that subject?
All right, thank you again. First, we need to understand because we have a lot of viewers watching us right now, we need to understand what Shift is all about.
Okay.
International Shift Talent Hunt. This is the vision of the Rccg, the Redeemed Christian Church of God Global, designed in empowering youths with skills, empowering them in their performance, in their creative arts. And part of the vision of Shift, which is in line with the question you just asked, is to identify, to nurture, and to empower these youths with talent to the global stage.
Identify, nurture, and empower.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's what we're doing. So back to the question you asked, that why are we losing this? First of all, we need to identify what is happening in the world today. Okay. We are in a world where skills and talent is being grabbed, is being hunted for across the world, both in the secular. So the church also, we need to wake up as well to also identify these skills in these talented youth, because you need to understand they are very, very, very talented. All they just need is a platform
of expression.
Yes. And the knowledge to apply that same talent as well.
Pastor Share, what's your opinion?
Okay, so thank you very much once again. So like you have said, and youth and young people need a platform where they can express themselves. And in order not to lose them to the world, we as church need to start, finding a way to bring them back towards this side. And that's why Shift is here. And that's the mission and that's the vision of Shift, to find, identify, and find these good talents that can find a way to express themselves in godly way. So that's basically it for me.
Yeah, Pastor Ifeanyi, let's talk about what the mission is doing on the platform of the International Shift. Let's talk about what is the project like? What are you guys have been doing?
The mission is they've given us a platform. They're encouraging us as well. Now, Shift is an annual event split across the first 6 months of the Shift calendar year is what we call pre-Shift. And the other 6 months is what we call post-Shift. So what we do, International Shift Talent Hunt, is not just a mere competition anymore, but it's now an academy where we bring in resource people that will train these participants, these registrants, for 5 months in preparation for the global stage. We have resource people from Canada, from US, from France, from UK, from South Africa, and in Nigeria. Every Monday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. online, where we teach them a whole lot of things. We teach them on social media, importance of social media. I will tell you as the interview goes on what we do in the academy. So International Shift Talent Academy, like I just call it now, is something that everybody should desire, particularly people with talent that want to upscale, and people with talent who want a global stage.
As shared, let's talk about the scope of the talent. Is it just music, dancing? What is the scope? Where exactly are you looking for in the academy?
Yeah, thank you. So the scope of the talent is basically we have the music aspect, we have the creativity aspect.
Creativity, what do you mean by creativity?
Now we have people that, we have sprinters, people that come to, graphic.
Okay, artists.
Okay. They can draw people in the space of 1 minute.
Okay.
Right. So these people are also involved in the talent show. Then we have the drama team too, part of the talent show. So it's something that is cut across all sense of creativity, all sense of creativity in young people. So it's not just narrowed down to music only. Yes, we have more of people in the music field that join the show, the talent on. So, but it's also cut across other ideas and creativity, that and talent that God has given to people. So,
all right. So if you sing, you act. I remember that the winner for this year's edition is a spoken word artist.
Exactly.
You do spoken word. You're a fine artist. You can draw. You act. You dance. All of these forms of creativity, you are needed in the International Shift Talent Hunt Academy. So, Pastor, let's talk about what you do in the academy. Let's elaborate more. What exactly is involved in the academy? What do people stand to benefit by joining the academy?
Okay, just to add voice to what Pastor Shea said, International Shift is categorized mainly into 3 categories, which is music, drama, and unusual creativity. Unusual creativity encompasses all other performing arts.
Okay.
Name is speed painting, dancing, cooking, whatever talent you have. Yeah. Well, yeah, there are creative cookings as well. Spoken words, speed painting, whatever it is. So all other arts is what we categorize under unusual creativity.
Okay.
So to the question you just asked, what are the things we do in Shift? Like I earlier said, it's now run as an academy because I need us to understand that there is a distinct difference between talent and knowledge. Now, talent can be natural, inbuilt. All right. Take for example an instrumentalist, well gifted, right, but requires knowledge on how to put that talent into a melody or into something that will not produce a good music that is sellable. Or let me reverse it this way. A doctor, for example, has got knowledge on maybe procedures, on surgery and other, but requires talent to be able to communicate with patients, requires talent to be able to undergo surgery itself. So basically what we do in Shift is refining talents, creating knowledge for them to use their talent in the right way. Like there's this saying that knowledge is power. I believe we've gone beyond that now. It is not the application of that knowledge that is power. So what we do in Shift is we first of all identify them, like I said, which is part of our vision. we nurture them. So in the 5 months training, we mentor them. There will be mentorship. We have models. I think we have about 7 models in that 5 months of training, which also includes the importance of social media, the importance of networking, the importance of, in fact, we bring in psychologists as well, because not everybody know how to manage emotions. When it comes on that global stage, not everybody can manage success, or perhaps, I don't want to use the word failure, but yeah. So
sometimes it happens.
So we do all of this. We prepare them. Now, finally, on this particular question, most of us are professional. I'm a civil engineer, and I've got my CV. So if I'm needed, or if I want a job in a company, I send in my CV. But the people in the creative arts line, their CV is a social media handle. Take, for example, in the street of London, I want to tell somebody about Nathaniel Bassey, right? Maybe Festival of Life, or whatever it is, I want to tell some of my mates there about Nathaniel Bassey. All they want to do is, what's his handle?
And I search him.
Yes. So what we do in the academy, we encourage these people to have social media awareness. Some of them, they have, beyond altar administration, they don't have social handles. So part of what we do, we teach them, we make them as well, because we give assignment. It's not just the way they run an academy. That's how we do, give them assignments and all that. So they have social media handles, how to make use of their phone. A lot of people, and I'm going to say this now, a lot of people who are gifted as well, who are talented, they desire to have this growing social handle, but they don't know how to create content. All they think is maybe when they go to studio, nice cameras. No, with your phone, that is part of what we teach them.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're doing, just record yourself, how to upload, the practical way of how to upload it. Reels, how to do it within maybe 59 seconds, another. So those are the things we do. Then beyond that, we give them assignment. For people in music, we could give them beats, the ability to write a song.
Write songs.
We are in the post shift right now. Christmas is around the corner. They are working on something for Christmas. The ability to write a Christmas song with a beat given to you. So those are the creative things we are doing.
That's really interesting. So, Pastor Shea, if someone in the street of Lagos or Zamfara listening to us right now and watching this interview is saying, I want to be a part of Shift Academy, how can they join? Is it open to all? Are there procedures to joining the academy?
Okay, so to join this academy right now, all you need to do is to register. So basically, our registration link will be out by, let's say, February of next year, 2025. So 1st of February, we'll roll out the registration link. Yeah, so, but you have to be identified as a believer, because it's a Christian talent show. So, and it's meant for, Rccg as it's were right now. So you have to register. Then there are checks that we have to do to be sure that you belong to any of the provinces or any of our region in the Redeemed Christian Church of God.
It's strictly for members of the Redeemed Christian Church.
Right now, it's basically for members of Rccg. So right now, basically for members of Rccg.
Okay, interesting. Pastor, let's talk about it now. Let's talk about what happened this year. All right. I mean, you saw Shift happen this year. A documentary was played earlier. We saw some of the participants, some of the, beautiful time we had. All right. A winner emerged that won a car and a monetary gift. Let's talk about the challenges with organizing an international talent shift.
All right, thank you. Just to add to what I was saying before, at the end of the academy, like in the institutions where everybody are subjected to an examination, the practical examination of the academy is the competition we are referring to right now, which is during the International Youth Convention, the 5 stage auditions. So that is like practical examination of all what you've been taught in the past 5 months, because we teach you choice of song, how to manage stage, how to woo the crowd, how to identify the need of the crowd as well. Now, the challenge is because this is a work in progress affair, at the moment, I want to make a humble appeal to the church. We are sacrificing a lot. And this information about shift is not really getting down to the grassroots. So we're appealing to pastors, the youth pastors, to get this information to their people. Because it will shock you to know, sir, that we still have a lot of talented youths in Rccg who are not aware of shift. So the challenge we're facing right now is getting this information down to the grassroots. So recently, hitherto now we had regional shift coordinators, but now we're introducing provincial shift coordinators that will help us take this message down to their province. Hopefully this time we're going to have more engagement. The another challenge again we're also having, which we're also introducing in season 3, because what we just finished now is season 2.
Yes.
So we are starting season 3. In the month of January, we are going to be having leadership coordinators or executive training for the coordinators in preparation for season 3. We're bringing resource persons, industry experts to train coordinators, because you need to have knowledge on how to identify talent in your province. You need to have the talent, the skills, and how to nurture this, how to encourage, how to publicize
the talents
yes.
that you care.
Yeah, because publicity alone is another big, should I say, stuff that everybody needs to learn, because the world today is digital. And most of the things we do are all digital. Shift is not a Nigerian thing anymore. We have, last season, we had to traverse most of the Francophone countries to get people to be part of Shift. Shift currently right now is being organized in Kenya, in Dubai. By God's grace, in 2025, perhaps about May, we're going to be having the first edition in the United Kingdom. So we are growing. All right, so my appeal, especially to Rccg Nigeria, is pastors, please take the message of Shift, this empowerment, this platform to your people. We have people partnering with us. We are still desiring to have more people to partner with us as well. But please, pastors, help get us coordinators as well who are willing to be part of this vision.
Thank you so much. So you've heard pastors, leaders, young adults and youth leaders, wherever your scope of influence might be. It's a whole lot happening at the International Shift Talent Hunt. And you can do and contribute your own quota by ensuring that the information goes wide. Let every young person around you who does either music, drama, spoken word, any form of creative art, let them know about what is happening. Let them come be a part of it. You don't know, just that sharing of information could be the next big thing that someone else needs. Pastor, it's been a wonderful time having this conversation with you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. I don't know if I still have just 30 seconds to say this. I just want to say that beyond all of this, we're creating confidence and value in you. If you're watching us today, if you are part of Shift, you stand a chance of winning 10 million naira, a car, and a 3-night holiday getaway. So this is our parting pack for you after training you for 5 months.
Wow. That's a lot. That's for season 3?
Yes.
I think, do you have a session for people that host events? I think I want to get on board. I need 10 million naira. And I heard this year that the winner of next year's edition will be going with an SUV.
Yes, a Jeep. This one we just completed season 2, 10 million, a car, and a 3-night holiday getaway. But for season 3, it's an SUV.
Wow.
Still a 10 million.
Okay.
And a 3-night holiday. Also, this is a breaking news. Let me just say it here right now. We are introducing choir competition to be part of Shift.
Nice.
A minimum of 13 number.
Um,
30-man choir?
30-man choir minimum, province-based.
Province level.
At province level. To be part of Shift with 3 rounds of audition. We are still looking at what should be given to them, but it's going to be a mouth-watering gift as well.
I like this. So do you think that your provincial choir has what it takes to come up and be the next big thing as far as the international Shift is concerned? If you think your province has that, be on the watch out for the next information. You said February 1st?
February 1st. Just go to the website www.rccgshift.org, O-R-G. www.rccgshift.org, or go on our social media handle and just type RCCG Shift. The links will be there from 1st of February 2025.
Wow, amazing. So please get on board and enjoy all that the Lord has for you. Leverage on these platforms and privileges. All right, you just don't know. You just don't know. You might be the next winner. Once again, Pastor Sheye, thank you.
Thank you.
Pastor Efe, thank you. It's been wonderful having you on this conversation.
Thank you for having me.
We will be going on a musical break now. However, once we are back, we're going to receive the ministry of our pastor. He is our leader. He is the National Youth Pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Shola Oweye. Stay with us. We ain't done yet. Enjoy the musical break. God bless you.